You ruined my life, Karen shrieked, her voice slicing through the rain like a blade. Lily stood frozen, her sneakers sinking into the muddy alley, as her mother's words landed like a punch to her gut. At 16, she thought she'd heard it all. But this was a wound she'd never unfeel. It started 3 months ago in a sleepy coastal town where the air smelled of salt and regret. Lily lived with her mother, Karen, in a cramped apartment above a laundromat, the kind of place where the walls hummed with the drone of dryers. Karen was a woman of sharp edges, beautiful once, but now her face was etched with lines of resentment. She'd been the belle of the town, married to Richard, a wealthy real estate tycoon, until it all crumbled. Lily, born during their marriage, was the only thread tying Karen to that lost life of luxury. But Karen never let her forget it. Lily was a quiet kid, observant, with a knack for sketching the world around her. She'd spend hours doodling the ocean or the gulls swooping over the pier, dreaming of a life beyond the laundromat's hum. Karen, though, saw Lily's existence as a chain anchoring her to failure. If it wasn't for you, she'd mutter over cheap wine, I'd still be in that mansion. Lily learned to swallow the hurt, tucking it deep where it couldn't spill out. The trouble brewed when Karen got a job at a local diner, a gig she loathed but needed. She'd come home reeking of grease, snapping at Lily for leaving dishes in the sink or forgetting to fold laundry. Lily tried to stay invisible, but Karen's bitterness was a storm that found her no matter where she hid. The real spark ignited when Lily overheard Karen on the phone, her voice low and venomous. She's the reason Richard threw me out. That brat ruined everything. Lily's heart cracked. She'd always known Karen resented her, but to hear it so raw, so deliberate, it was like swallowing glass. She confronted her mother that night, her voice trembling. What did I do? Mom, why do you hate me so much? Karen's eyes narrowed, and she laughed, a cold, jagged sound. You were born. That's enough. The words haunted Lily, but she wasn't one to crumble. She started digging, piecing together the story Karen never told. Richard, her father, had died years ago, but his sister, Aunt Clara, still lived in town. Lily tracked her down at the library where Clara worked sorting books. Clara was kind, with soft eyes that crinkled when she smiled, but her face tightened when Lily mentioned Karen. Your mom, she made choices, Clara said carefully. Richard loved you, but Karen, she wasn't who he thought she was. Clara's words were vague, but they lit a fire in Lily. She scoured old family records, sneaking into the library after hours with a flashlight. She found letters, photos, and finally, a legal document that made her stomach lurch, a divorce decree. Karen hadn't been kicked out. She'd been caught cheating, draining Richard's accounts for her own schemes. When Richard found out, he filed for divorce, and Karen lost everything except custody of Lily, who was just a toddler then. Richard's will left Lily a trust fund, accessible at 18, but Karen got nothing. That's when the resentment took root, festering over years into a poison that colored every word Karen spat at her daughter. Lily's discovery was a double-edged sword. She felt vindicated, but the truth didn't erase the pain of her mother's hatred. She kept it secret, unsure how to confront Karen without shattering what little they had left. Meanwhile, Karen's behavior grew worse. At the diner, she started skimming tips, blaming coworkers when caught. She'd scream at Lily for small things: spilled milk, a late bus, each outburst a reminder of her belief that Lily was her ruin. The town noticed it too. Whispers followed Karen. She's trouble, they'd say, shaking their heads. Lily overheard them at school, her cheeks burning with shame she didn't deserve. The breaking point came on a stormy evening, the kind where the sky seemed to weep for the town's sorrows. Karen had been fired from the diner after a customer caught her pocketing cash. She stormed into the apartment, her face a mask of fury, and found Lily sketching at the kitchen table. You think you're so innocent, don't you? Karen snarled, snatching the sketchbook and tearing it in half. Lily gasped, Her drawings, her escapes scattered like confetti. "You're the reason I'm stuck in this dump," Karen screamed. "I wish you'd never been born." Lily's vision blurred with tears, but something inside her snapped. She stood, shaking, and faced her mother. "You're lying," she said, her voice low but steady. "I know the truth. You cheated on Dad. You stole from him. You lost the mansion, not me." Karen's face went white, then red. She lunged, grabbing Lily's arm, but Lily pulled free and ran into the rain-soaked street. The alley was where it all came to a head. Karen chased her, screaming accusations, her voice echoing off the brick walls. "You ungrateful little—" she started, but Lily cut her off. "I found the papers. Mom, I know what you did." The rain plastered Lily's hair to her face, but she stood tall, her voice rising. "You've blamed me my whole life, but it's you. You destroyed everything." Karen froze, her anger flickering into something like fear. The truth hung between them, heavy as the storm clouds above. Then, Karen's face twisted, and she spat. "You think you're better than me. You're nothing without me." But her words lacked their usual venom. The alley was silent except for the rain, and for the first time, Lily saw her mother not as a towering force, but as a broken woman, small against the storm. Lily turned and walked away, her heart pounding, but her resolve firm. She went to Clara's house, soaked and shivering, and poured out the story. Clara listened, her eyes soft with understanding. "You don't have to carry her mistakes," she said, wrapping Lily in a blanket. "You're stronger than that." Clara offered her a place to stay, and for the first time in years, Lily felt safe. Karen's downfall came swiftly. Word of her theft at the diner spread, and the town turned its back on her. Customers stopped tipping, and old friends crossed the street to avoid her. Lily's trust fund, which Karen had hoped to manipulate, was untouchable. Managed by Clara until Lily turned 18, Karen was left with nothing but her anger, and even that began to fade as she faced the consequences of her actions. She tried to call Lily, leaving voicemails that swung between apologies and accusations, but Lily didn't answer. She was done carrying her mother's burdens. Months later, Lily stood on the pier, sketching the horizon. The ocean stretched wide and free, mirroring the hope she felt. She'd enrolled in art classes, funded by Clara's support and her own grit. Karen was a shadow now, living on the edge of town, her life a cautionary tale whispered at the diner. Lily didn't hate her, she pitied her, a woman trapped by her own choices. But pity didn't mean forgiveness. Not yet. Lily was building a life of her own, one where she wasn't defined by her mother's regrets. The rain had stopped, and the gulls soared overhead, their cries a song of freedom. Lily closed her sketchbook, her fingers tracing the new pages she'd filled. She wasn't her mother's mistake. She was her own story, and she was just beginning to write it. What do you think? Did Lily make the right choice by walking away? Should she ever forgive Karen? Or is some damage too deep to mend? Share your thoughts below.